Peace and blessings, family. Time for me to check in for a little bit again with another edition of Spiritual Food for Thought. I hope all is well in your relationship with your Creator, as that hopefully that you're walking in a place of peace with Him as you continue to receive that revelation that causes you to understand, that His desire to see each of us to be made whole through the revelation of His mind that causes us to be one with Him. So as we're one with our Creator, family, we can only walk in a spirit of divine love, because as we understand our place in nature and understanding the reality that the Creator is nature, the Creator is the power of nature. You know what I'm saying? It's the source of the creation of nature. And as I said, as we understand the reality that we're in the process of being created and that our creation process is not complete. So we must experience this realm of life and death and good and evil and all these things, family, to ultimately come to understand our place and our purpose within, and ultimately our inheritance of the kingdom of the Creator. Because, the creation of the Creator ultimately is the kingdom where we'll all be made one with the Creator. Thus, ultimately, we'll be made one with each other and our fellow creatures in this world, and Mother Earth, and who the Creator brought us all forth from, such as the kingdom of heaven. Understanding that this is the Creator's greatest desire, to behold His creation in fullness. But we have to go through this process, first, before that can take place. As I said, the Creator is proving the investment of His Spirit that He placed in those who do believe through understanding. As I said, the Creator didn't wire us to believe things, family, we don't fully understand. See, that's what causes us to walk in faith and believe in things we fully don't understand. And as we walk in that place, family, we're lying to ourselves, and we're deceiving ourselves, and we're deceiving even the part of the grand deception of the world around us as we continue to walk in ways that's contrary to nature and the divine order and will of the Creator. See, in our true divinity of the kingdom, family, there ain't no death, there ain't no sickness, there ain't none of those things that we experiencing in this world. The hatred, the confusion, all the things that in our flesh are subject to, because in our flesh we say yes to our own desires for pleasure. This is what, as I said, see, we got to understand, family, that the so-called devil or Hasatan or whatever you address, that dark one, it's the spirit of our own pride and our self-awareness that causes us to desire to control the world around us and having no understanding of the reality that the only one that the Creator meant for us to control or rule is ourselves. But we can't do that if we don't understand, first of all, that that's the Creator's desire for us, is to rule and control ourselves. But we're never taught or truly encouraged that, because it's the Spirit that gives us that revelation. Like I said, in our flesh, we are slave to our desires for pleasure. So the lust of our flesh, the lust of our senses, that's what we're driven by. And because all the lies that we've been told, family, we believe that we're supposed to rule. Here, a created being is supposed to rule the creation of the Creator. It's like the Father then is giving up his rule to his creation to rule itself. And the bottom line is, how is that possible? Because if we don't understand ourselves, family, we can't know our place and our purpose. This is why I keep trying to say, family, each of us has to seek the Creator for ourselves, to know ourselves so we can know our place. It is that we know our place, family, that's when we're able to take our place. And so we're no longer stepping on each other's toes or stepping in somebody else's lane that we ain't supposed to be, trying to be like this guy or trying to be like this person or so on and so forth, never understanding our own uniqueness through the eyes of our Creator to be ourselves. Because until we're able to love ourselves with the divine love and understanding of our Creator, we're not serving Him in spirit and in truth. Okay? Because there's other distractions and interference that keep us from understanding that reality. This is why we should continue to be asking for that daily bread or portion of His Spirit to give us the understanding of our journey so we can stay on our journey. You know, as I said, when you talk about our paths, each of us got a path. And we need to understand that path. But we can't see the path if we don't understand what and who we are. So we can't plainly see the path. And so we got to understand, family, this is only possible through the revelation of the Spirit of our Creator. Ultimately, His desire to see us become one with Him, each other, our fellow creatures, and Mother Earth, in who we all came forth from, such as the kingdom of heaven. So, with that said, family, before I move on, I'd like to say that I'm not no teacher or no kind of title trying to tell you what to do or what to believe or convince you of anything. You know, ultimately, what we're convinced to believe is what the Creator allows us to. And in His time and His season, family, we simply receive divine revelation that takes our understanding to another level. This is our growth process. And, you know, we have to experience adversity and the things of this world, family, for us to come to that understanding. See, because if it ain't no adversity or nothing, there's no process going on for growth. And so we must understand that we're in the process of being created, family. And without this process, our existence is not going to be real in the kingdom. It can't be. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, the subject that I got today, okay, this time around, okay, our path, okay. We got to understand something, family, that we all have a path. Okay, as the created beings that we all have a path. See, my path is my life that's been appointed unto me, okay? Your path is your life that's been appointed unto you. Okay, so as we come into this existence of our flesh, as I said, you know, it was said that when man was created, it said the Creator breathed life into his nostrils and man became a living soul. You know, and so when we're talking about a living soul, the soul is the spirit of our senses, okay, of sight, touch, taste, smell, and hearing. Okay, there is no experience of life without the senses in our flesh. Okay, take away the senses and what do you have? There's no sense of awareness. Okay, so the reality is one of the things that's going on is that the Creator, through the revelation of His Spirit, is allowing us to understand ourselves through the divine revelations that He's bringing forth within us. Okay, because if we don't understand these truths, family, we're not going to rightfully understand what the Creator is saying to us. How can we receive power to overcome the infirmities of our flesh and our understanding of the things of the flesh? How can we overcome the flesh if we don't understand these things? The whats and the whys and all of this. This is what the Creator is revealing to us, because as He revealed to us these things, family, ultimately, it's going to be the thing that's going to empower us to get past this realm where we are and ultimately come into our own divinity as children of the Most High. Okay? So the thing is, we got to understand, family, that it would make, to me, it makes a big difference as we understand that we are all on a journey to the kingdom. Okay? And that ultimately the kingdom of the Creator is the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Now, when we're talking about the kingdom of heaven, family, we're talking about the understanding of the oneness of the Creator in nature, where we're no longer operating in a spirit of death that causes us to be in opposition as we misunderstand what the Creator is saying to us, what He's doing in our lives, and all these things. Okay? So if we don't understand these things, family, we can't possibly be one with the Creator. So this is what causes us to operate in opposition to the divine will of the Creator. Okay? So this is a place of death. See, we think in terms of death too much in the physical sense, but if we don't have the spiritual understanding of what's going on and how in this realm of our creation process, we're operating in the realm of death. So our thinking, as we've been conformed to the image of this world, we are walking in a spirit of death right now, because our flesh is subject to the spirit of death. Okay? It shows in our decision making, the world that we've created, by the way that we've lived, and all of these things being separated from the divine nature of our Creator, that will ultimately cause us to be one with one another as we are one with the Creator. And so we become one with all things. And being one with all things don't mean that we get to control the things around us. It's that we know our place and our purpose, and we walk in that. So that's true freedom, as we are able to truly be ourselves according to the divine will and purpose of our Creator. And as we walk in that place, family, we don't walk in each other's space. Because as we try to rule others, okay, this is in violation of each other's space and spot in this world. Okay, because the bottom line is absolute madness to me to try to rule over a being that you didn't create. Okay? And so the thing is, We need to understand that each of us need to know our path. See, until you know who you are, you can't even begin to walk your path. See, as we are so influenced by others, and as I said, in our pride, we don't understand the reality that we under a spirit of man worship. So we're always trying to do what the world tells us. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, the world has no right to tell us our purpose. Only our Creator is the one that has the right to do that. But if we don't have that relationship with the Creator from within, okay, then we have no chance of coming to know ourselves. So if we don't know ourselves, we can't walk our path. We get pulled off the path to the broad ways of destruction as we continue to have this desire to worship man, so we follow others. And the thing that's straight up crazy, we worship men that are living, and we worship men that are dead. You know what I'm saying? This is why we have to understand the only one we're supposed to worship in spirit and in truth is our Heavenly Father. Because that's what it's admonished us to do. It says those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And then understand that reality. That word worship. Worship means to do. So it's what we do and how we truly glorify and honor our Creator under the spirit of divine love that makes us ultimately one with his desire for that oneness. And so as we all come into that place, we ultimately will become one with each other. Become one with our fellow creatures in this world and Mother Earth, in who he brought us all forth from, such as the kingdom of heaven. You know, understanding that. So, ultimately, our path is our journey to the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Our path is everything that makes each of us ourselves. Now, we have to understand these experiences and all these things, you know, through the divine revelation of our Creator to understand, okay, what did I just experience? Father, what's going on? You know, what am I to understand or make of this that I just went through? What are you trying to teach me? What is it that I need to understand? These are things and these are questions that we should have as the created beings we are, but all in humility. Not in a realm where we're trying to challenge the Creator or anything like that. But we're supposed to try to understand what the Creator is actually trying to show us. Okay? This experience of walking our path is a part of our creation process. Okay? Because one of the things that is admonished to us as the created beings that we are, you know, this is admonished for us to seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door be open unto you. You know what I'm saying? Ask and keep asking. If you seek me, I will reveal myself to you. And as we receive this divine revelation of our Creator family, it's the very thing that allows us to see our own selves in spirit and in truth through the revelation of the spirit of our Creator. So it says, we come into this revelation, family, we begin to understand that we must understand and know our own path. Okay? As I said, the broad ways of destruction that lead to destruction, family, is the hearsay that comes from others. As we bow down to the understanding of others that still denies us of finding our true selves in the Creator. As I said, in our flesh, we under the spirit of man worship. So we put more validity to the words of men, okay, than we do to understand and come to know what our Creator thinks of us, because of the lack of our own personal relationship with our Creator. See, as I said, one of the reasons that I believe in the existence of the Son of the Creator, who came into this world to be an example, okay? First of all, come into this world to conquer the spirit of death, as he was one with his Father through the birthing of the Spirit, okay? Opening the door, as the scripture says, the Son being the firstborn of many brethren. So as the Son was the firstborn of many brethren, he opened the door, the first one to be made spiritually alive to the mind of his Father, that gave him the power to walk in obedience as he knew himself, as he knew his purpose, okay, was to come into this world to conquer death, to show us that through the same spirit that he was birthed in, as he was one with his Father, okay, didn't mean he was the Father, mean he was in agreement with the Father, because he knew himself and his purpose. And that's what's wrong with us. The lies of this world keep us distracted with all this stuff that keeps us from understanding that reality, that all the Creator ever wanted from each of us is for us to be ourselves, but with the understanding of his mind. But it's only possible as we have a spiritual relationship with the Creator that ultimately will make us one with him in nature, because in truth, family, nature is the ultimate testimony of our relationship with the Creator. If we ain't one with him in nature, then we live in sin. And that's what this world is. Because what sin is being in opposition to the divine will and order of our Creator. And if we ain't operating in the spirit of his divine love, family, we're walking in opposition to him. So guess what? I mean, we off our path. Because if we're trying to live, you know what I'm saying? If we're trying to live in a way, okay, that's truly ignorant, because all we want is pleasure and things that lift us up. People talk about legacies all the time. They want to leave a legacy and stuff like that. But the reality, family, ultimately, what's the ultimate legacy? Because the things of this world is passing away. And so the bottom line is, you know, as I said, we're in the process of being created. So we all have a path. But until you know your path and to reject yourselves because of the thinking of this world, you're not going to walk your path. Okay? Path is that thing that's been appointed to us to take us through this process, ultimately to know ourselves through the eyes of our Creator, so that we can ultimately come into our inheritance of the kingdom of heaven. And as I said, you know, heaven ain't up in the sky. Heaven is all around us, but because we are enslaved to the mindset of this world under the spirit of death, that's why we can't see and understand what the kingdom is. You know what I'm saying? We thinking of the kingdom of heaven as far as fairy tales and lies and the crap we've been taught in this world and stuff by men. But the bottom line, as I said, kingdom of heaven is all around us. But as we are being renewed and born of the Spirit, ultimately, as we change because of that divine revelation, family, it's going to manifest the kingdom. Okay? So the thing we got to understand, each of us need to know we all got a path, okay? And ultimately that path is in the hands of our Creator. And so until we understand that as the created beings we are, we was created to glorify and lift up our Creator, okay? To be a testimony of our Creator's absolute divine love and righteousness and all these things, as we're able to love one another. And you know, as we help and serve one another in the spirit of divine love, family, this is how we serve the Creator, okay? But bottom line is, in our flesh, it ain't possible, because our flesh is totally against the Creator, because it's in opposition, because there's no spiritual life or connection. Our flesh is, in our flesh, we are slaves to our desires for pleasure. And so the bottom line, in anything that lift us up in the spirit of pride to make us more self-aware, okay, separated from the divine understanding and purpose of our Creator. That's what the flesh does to us. And so we must, if we want to know our path, our true path on our journey to the kingdom, because understanding that this existence is a journey to the kingdom of heaven. You know, and this journey is, as we go through this process of creation, where we have to experience this battle of good and evil, light and darkness, and all these things, that the Creator would prove the investment of His Spirit that He's placed within those of us who do believe by understanding. Okay? And I have to keep emphasizing that true belief is what you understand. That's what real belief is. Everything is just accepting things without understanding divine purpose, or if it's in order or anything, you know, that kind of belief, that's what people call faith. And as I said, you know, the deception of the powers of darkness is really absolute. And without the understanding of the mind of the spirit of the Creator, you can't see it. And it may appear to look good and seem to be good and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately it's for the purpose of leading us to our own self-destruction as we oppose the perfect will of our Creator. And so, you know, in closing, I just want to reemphasize this thing, family. We all have a path. And as a child of the Creator, our number one concern is to understand what that path is. And that path can only be understood through a relationship with our Creator. As we have dialogue with Him by, you know, at the draw of His Spirit, because it's the draw of His Spirit that causes us to even desire to have a relationship with our Creator and to come to understand His oneness and our oneness in Him, as we come to understand our oneness with all things that He's given the spirit of life to. So we got to understand the things, family, through the spirit of His divine love that He never meant for, in reality, the kingdom of the Creator is only possible as we conquer the spirit of death and overcome this darkness, the darkness of this world, to ultimately bring forth the kingdom of eternal life. Okay, because death is something that has to be conquered. Okay, and it's only as we're born again and born of His Spirit, family, that we could conquer the spirit of death. But to say all that, to say this, ultimately, how can we expect to overcome the spirit of death or conquer the spirit of death, family, if we don't understand our path, if we don't understand our journey? You know what I'm saying? Because we got to understand we on a journey to our completed created state, okay? In this realm that we exist in of His permissive will, where he has allowed this battle of good and evil to take place, that we, being birthed in the spirit on our path to the kingdom, is ultimately how we're going to overcome this and actually come into our inheritance of the divine kingdom of the Creator, which is when this earth becomes one with the will of heaven. Because the will of heaven is the oneness of his love that puts us in our place as we become one with the divine love of our Creator, ultimately each other, our fellow creatures, and Mother Earth, in who he brought us all forth from, in who he's in the process of bringing us all forth from. Such is the kingdom of heaven. So, with that said, know your path through a relationship with your Creator, and understand the reality that all he ever wanted each of us to be is ourselves, but with the understanding of his mind. So, with that said, family, until next time, I hope I said something to give you something to think about and consider. And I pray that the Most High will keep you and bless you and watch out over you and meet your every need as long as you continue to seek and search him out for yourself. So with that said, until next time, I'll say one love and peace.